Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you very much for coming to our session overview of the hydrogen strategy and technology in Japan. We have 90 minutes today. After my opening remarks, Mr. Eric van Kuwe from the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands will give a speech. Then we will move to the presentations. Firstly, Mr. Eiji Ohira from New Energy and Industrial Technology Development Organization, NEDO, will give a presentation about Japan's efforts to promote hydrogen. Secondly, we are delighted to be able to present 9 Japanese excellent companies in the hydrogen sector who are interested in international collaboration. As you see, Asahi Kasei, Denso, Chiyoda, ENEOS, Kawasaki, Fukui, Toyota, and KBC are Yokogawa company. Allow me in a few words to introduce Jetro, Japan External Trade Organization. My name is Ryunosuke Mochizuki from Jetro Amsterdam. We are a government agency to support Japanese companies in their international development. This slide will give you an overview of our main missions. Today, we are fostering, promoting innovation, strengthening collaboration between Japanese companies, startups, organizations, institutions, and foreign companies, or organizations in order to facilitate innovation in strategic sectors such as carbon neutrality. Indeed, Japan is betting heavily on the total supply chain of hydrogen as a new energy. Through its fundamental strategy and roadmap, Japan is seeking to position itself as world leader in hydrogen society. Together with all the social and economic players, Japan is taking action and is interested in diversifying the sector of production, transportation, storage, and use of hydrogen, and in ways of ensuring a stable, massive, and low-cost supply. It is against this backdrop that Jetro Amsterdam has decided to organize the Japan Pavilion for the first time at this reading exhibition. All of the companies who will give their presentation are also in a booth at D74. Please come in contact with them. Without any further ado, I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Eric van Kuwe from Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a great pleasure and honor to welcome the Japanese delegation and every one of you, of course, here to the Netherlands and to this Japan Hydrogen Insights seminar. My name is Erik van Kooij. I am the Counselor for Science, Technology and Innovation at the Netherlands Embassy in Japan in Tokyo. And I would especially like to thank Mochizuki-san for your introduction and Jetro for the organization of this event. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in Rotterdam, and I must say, for me personally, that feels great. Because this is the city where I was born and also where I majored at university. Now, I only lived in Rotterdam for a few years in my youth and during my studies, but I have very fond memories of that time. And the reason that I only spent a small number of years here is that my father worked for Shell. And we traveled a lot around the world. My father was both a shipbuilding engineer and also a mechanical engineer. And he worked in the oil and gas industry all his life. So when I was 5 years old, we moved to Japan. And we lived there for 3 to 4 years because my father had the supervision of the construction of supertankers for oil that were being built in Japan. I'm talking about the 1960s. Then we lived in some other countries after that, but I came back to Japan in the second half of the 1970s. The oil crisis, beginning of the 1970s, had a great effect on the world. and Shell was shifting part of its business to producing natural gas. And my father was asked to supervise the construction of offshore gas rigs, and this was also being done in Japan at that time. And after that, he stayed in the gas business. He later joined the NAM, a Dutch oil gas company that was producing natural gas in the north of the Netherlands, in Groningen, and in the North Sea. Now you may ask yourself, why am I telling this story? Well, you know, for me it feels as if a lot of elements come together. Cooperation between Japan and the Netherlands in important energy carriers like oil and gas, and now hydrogen. The energy crisis, the shift towards more sustainability, and of course also the shift from oil and gas to hydrogen. And of course also for me myself, working for the Netherlands in Japan, being here at this seminar together with my colleague Takeshi Murakami, who is responsible for the domain of hydrogen in our team. So here we are at the World Hydrogen Summit in Rotterdam. Japan and the Netherlands are both frontrunners in the field of hydrogen, global frontrunners. The Netherlands aims to become the international, mainly European, hydrogen economy hub, and it will import hydrogen from around the world and supply it within Europe. The construction of infrastructures to handle large amounts of hydrogen has already started. For example, in last year in October, our King Willem-Alexander kickstarted the construction of a very long European hydrogen pipeline, which actually starts here in Rotterdam, the hydrogen backbone. And then there is the construction of the Shell 200 megawatt electrolyzer called Holland Hydrogen 1, which is to be finished next year. And also ongoing is a big project called Porthos, which stores millions of tons of CO2 in empty gas fields under the bed of the North Sea. And then Japan. Japan will also be importing hydrogen from over the world. And against this background, other kind of very ambitious and extremely interesting projects are ongoing in Japan. And I will not say too much about that because there are many speakers behind me and Japanese experts after me that are going to elaborate on those topics. Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing an important moment in history with challenges to transform our energy away from fossil fuel to renewable energy like hydrogen. Hydrogen. It is the simplest member of the family of chemical elements. As a gas, it consists of one pair of atoms, each with one proton and one electron. It has no color. You cannot smell it. You cannot taste it. As a human, you cannot detect it. And as a gas, it disappears from the atmosphere. Yet the whole world is going wild about hydrogen. And I think rightfully so, because it exists, of course, in abundance on Earth and is a fantastic energy carrier. Hydrogen also plays an important role in the history between Japan and the Netherlands, because the Japanese word for hydrogen, which is suizel, is a literal translation from the Dutch word hydrogen, which is waterstof. And this is a heritage from the unique historic ties between both our countries, and a very logic word, I think, for hydrogen, because it was mainly known for its important property as the maker of water, H2O. At our embassy, hydrogen is a priority area of attention, and we hope to facilitate more cooperation between Japan and the Netherlands in that area. And on that note, I want to conclude by thanking you all very much for joining this Japanese event on hydrogen in Rotterdam. I hope it is interesting, that it will give you leads for new contacts. Thank you very much for your attention. Enjoy the presentations in this seminar, and please also enjoy your time in Rotterdam. Thank you. Go this way. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eric van Kooy. Now I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Eiji Ohira from NEDO, who is going to tell you about Japan's effort to promote hydrogen.
So, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eiji Ohira from NEDO. The NEDO is a kind of founding agency to develop organize and promote national R&D project under the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industries. Well, in our area covered by our project is quite wide and working for high renewable and not only energy issue, but also the industry like robotics, material, etc., etc. But NATO should allocate almost 150 million euro in this area, hydrogen fuel cell area. It's we recognize hydrogen fuel cell very promising technologies. I'm very happy to be here to talk about kind of general information on the Japan policy and NATO's R&D activities. So let me start the Japan policy moves. And as you know, Japan have the histories and about the hydrogen fuel cell. And we developed the first national project on the hydrogen vaccine in 1973. It means we have a half century history and experiences. Well, now we have several hydrogen movements before, like every 10 years. The current hydrogen movement that started 2014 is to METI, Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, developed the hydrogen fuel cell strategic roadmap. Well, the big difference in the current movement and the past movement is that we have very strongly political commitment. Well, the evidence in Japan that developed the world first national hydrogen strategy in 2017, namely the basic hydrogen strategies. And 2020, and Japan Prime Minister declared carbon neutrality by 2050. To achieve this kind of new policy, the government developed several hydrogen policies. Well, and after 6 years, the METI just revised, and the Japanese government just revised its on the basic hydrogen strategies. I just picked up the kind of highlight from the revised version of the new strategies. And in the revised version, we set several new targets, which is the hydrogen target 2040, and it's 12 million tons per year. And we are also setting the new electrolysis target, the 15 gigawatts in 2030. But the most important thing is this is the strategy not for energy and environment, but for the economic growth strategies. Well, we recognize that the carbon neutrality is not a barrier for economic growth, but good opportunity to develop, to enhance the economies. Well, so in this regard, we set several priority technologies, which is power generation, the fuel cell, electrolysis, etc. We now working for not only in Japan, but also we'd like to spreading our technology globally. Government to set a new policy measures to accelerate the commercialization and the hydrogen market, so such as the contract for different scheme. Now this kind of new scheme, new policy measures, and under discussed in the diet. When new scheme will unveiled as soon as possible, maybe in the second quarter of this year. Sorry. So next I will talk about our current activity. The network is working for the hydrogen production, storage, transport, and utilization. We're supporting the fundamental research and applied research, demonstration, the field tests, regulation, and the code and the standard. Well, today I bring some kind of snapshot from our project, which is just very focusing on hydrogen scaling up. And this slide shows our track demonstration project. We believe the commercial vehicle, fuel cell vehicle, just a key device to not only to develop, enhance the hydrogen demand, but also to enhance the capacity factor hydrogen filling station. Through the demonstration, we will install the 300 heavy-duty light-duty truck. Well, not only road transport, we also are working looking for the chance to using the fuel cell for non-load devices. Well, left photo show material handling, and not like top handler, robotic entry crane. And we already developed this kind of the device, and we're testing this equipment at Port of Los Angeles. And also they were working for the maritime application. That's the illustration, but we released this new application in next year. Well, this is a kind of snapshot of our project and hydrogen at port and at the Port of Los Angeles, collaborate with the Port of Los Angeles. Well, and Japan did the plan to import the hydrogen from the 2030. Well, challenge is how to concentrate hydrogen for long distance transportation, which is the two types of the hydrogen carrier. One, the organic chemical hydrate, other one liquefied form, liquefied and the hydrogen. And we already developed a small but the world first and liquefied hydrogen tanker. And our demonstration journey between Japan and Australia, they conclude with a successfully, we continue this kind of work to develop the international code and standard for liquefied hydrogen transportation. And then we continue this kind of work for the scaling up. We're in a plan to develop the 100 times bigger liquefied hydrogen carrier by the 2028 maybe. And our demonstration might have started in the same year, 2028. Right, and electrolysis is the key technology, key device to develop the low carbon energy system. Do you know the importance is the scaling up electrolysis? We believe the alkaline electrolysis, PEM electrolysis have the candidate and to scaling up for in short term. Well, and also to promote the decarbonization at industry sector, we may use the conducting the demonstrate project for kind of green ammonia that cross to the our 10 megawatt and electrolysis project. All right, and let me conclude my presentation. Well, it's nothing doubt that the hydrogen is a key technology for the carbon neutrality, where Japan is strongly promoting the hydrogen for a long time. But that just started the market penetration. We need to enhance the application, or we need to improve technologies. But our goal is not only develop our devices, but our goal is developing the low carbon energy system. So scaling up and integration. Well, that's a key. It's a very important issue to develop the low carbon energy system. Well, I talked about just part of the Japan's activity. I will be very happy to you enjoy the our talk from my colleague for the Japan industry, the update technology information. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ohiro. Now, I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Masahiro Okura from AGC Chemical Europe, who will talk about their membranes for hydrogen.
Yep. First of all, I'd like to thank Jetro team for organizing this precious opportunity and providing us the good time. I'm from AGC. You may know AGC. AGC was formerly Asahi Glass Company, which is established in 1907. We were Asahi Glass, not Asahi Kasei, next presenter, nor Asahi Beer Brewery Company, unfortunately, though I love beers. Anyway, after several decades, we acquired some glass company and chemicals company and pharmaceutical company in Europe. So finally, we are now a lot of colleagues in Europe, like 70,000 people in Europe working. And the half of our sales is from glass products. And but you can see the chemicals part, which is the largest portion in our sales. The sales is totally 13 or 14 billion euro. So this is the AGC position. We're number one glass making company and in the world, and also we have some number one share in performance chemicals. And our chemical chain comes from raw salt. We do electrolysis to split raw salt and HCl to form chlorine and caustic soda. The sodium part, caustic soda, is used for glass making, and chlorine part going through halogen exchange reaction to form fluoropolymers and fluorosolvents. So one of fluoro products is ion exchange membranes. So this ion exchange membrane is used in the first step, electrolysis. So we have a lot of experience in electrolysis and also hydrogen. So hydrogen is a byproduct from electrolysis of raw salt. And this is our solutions for hydrogen. And these are membranes. The oldest one is selenium, which is kind of grandparent membrane in the formula family. And the next one is flammyon, which is used for chloralkali electrolysis as I explained in the previous slide. And thanks to these membranes, parent membranes, we produce the new membrane formula S3s, which is used for PEM electrolysis. And also we have some liquid type ionomers dispersion, and also very special hollow tube shaped membrane, which is used for dry air or humidifier of gas. I'd like to skip this one. And also we also have the liquid type. And this is PEM, water electrolysis membrane. The strength is the reinforcement. You can see the fibers in the membrane maybe. And also our material has good characteristic to reduce the electric resistance. I mean, you can reduce, so you can generate the hydrogen efficiently using our membrane. And we announced the news to install new plant in Japan to produce PEM water electrolysis membrane. And lastly, this is a very old membrane, like a grandparent membrane. But this is very old, so we have a lot of applications. I mean, so we already have mass production site in Japan. And lately, AEM water electrolysis industry asked us to provide AEM, an ion exchange membrane, to water electrolysis. So we are ready to provide the mass producible membranes AEM and PEM, as I explained. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okura. Now I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Tomoyuki Ishikawa from Asahi Kasei, who will talk about their large-scale alkaline water electrolyzer.
Hello. Thank you very much for your time today. I'm Tomo Ishikawa from Asahi Kasei. Today, I would like to introduce Asahi Kasei Corporation and its activities in the hydrogen field. So at first, this is the quick snapshot of the Asahi Kasei Corporation. Asahi Kasei Corporation is not a Asahi Glass Corporation, AZC. It's very complicated, not a beer company. So it was established in 1922. And currently, we have more than 48,000 colleagues all over the world. The Asahi Kasei has very diversified business portfolios, and they're mainly divided into 3 segments: material, housing, and healthcare. In the material segment, we have lots of types of the products, such as petrochemical, engineering plastic, textile, battery separator, electronics, and also chloralkaline electrolysis is included in material segment. Asahi aims to achieve the carbon neutral by 2050. And in order to achieve that, we whole Asahi group is now accelerating their activities toward that target. So let's dive into the hydrogen. So this picture is the hydroelectric power plant Asahi owns and has been operating. It's in operation right now. So this picture was taken long time ago. Asahi started the ammonia business in 1923. At the time, that ammonia was produced from the hydrogen. And that hydrogen was generated using the electricity from this hydroelectric power plant. So it was green hydrogen and green ammonia 100 years ago. So Asahi has a long history in electrolysis. And so based on that electrolysis technologies and also combined with the membrane technologies, we started the chloralkaline electrolysis business in 1975. And currently, we are one of the leading companies in that field. Based on that chloralkaline electrolysis technologies and experiences, we started the development of the water electrolyzer for hydrogen production in 2010. Since then, we participated in several projects in Japan and Germany. And we will enter into the market with our products very, very soon. As I mentioned, we are based on the chloralkaline electrolysis technologies. This is a quick overview of the chloralkaline electrolysis business. We have more than 45 years experiences in this segment, and we delivered our electrolyzers to 18 plants only in Europe. And some of them are the very large-scale facility. So we have the actual experiences of the delivery of the electrolyzer, large-scale electrolyzer, and operating that electrolyzer in the actual market. So we can leverage that kind of experiences and technologies into the water electrolyzer. And also, we have reliable 1 gigawatt electrolyzer manufacturing capacity. And we can utilize this capacity also in the water electrolyzer. And in the water electrolysis, also we have the actual operational experiences in the large-scale electrolyzer. So left-hand side, that is the FH2R. It was already introduced in several times. We delivered a 10 megawatt electrolyzer there and has been operating. And in addition to that, we've set up 2 new facilities in our Kawasaki works, 1 module facilities and 4 module facilities.
Asahi Kasei is expanding its horizons at Kawasaki Works. This facility demonstrates the limitless possibilities for green hydrogen production and sustainable energy. It features 4 electrolyzer modules designed for responsiveness and long-term durability. Construction is expected to be complete in spring 2024. Asahi Kasei, creating for tomorrow.
This is the movie when we installed ourselves into that 4 module facilities. We've started its operation in last March. Using these facilities, we are accelerating the material development, and also we will build the optimized operational scheme of the large-scale electrolyzers. As for the electrolyzers, our design concept is a little bit unique. We can replace the single cell and a single membrane, not replacing the whole stack. It can contribute to reduce the customer's risk and reduce the downtime for the maintenance. And R2 is a company which has a long experiences in monitoring the electrolyzers. They have the technology to monitor the single cell situation. So the combination, R2 and our design concept, can maximize the benefit to the customers. So Asahi aims to contribute to realize the hydrogen society, mainly from the hydrogen production perspective. In order to achieve this target, the collaboration is very important. So I hope to have a lot of discussions with the people in the ecosystem, in the hydrogen ecosystem. So please visit our booth, D74. Let's have a discussion. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Very much, Mr. Ishikawa. Now I'd like to give the stage to Stefan Malfoy from Denso, who will talk about their SOEC technology.
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you, Jetro, for the organization for this event. My name is Stefan Moufroy. I'm from Denso Europe, located in Germany. We have a long history of collaboration between Denso Europe and Denso Japan. I'm from the engineering side. Since 3 years, or let's say for 3 years, collaborating with my colleagues in Japan on environmental neutral system. And today I'm very happy to introduce the Denso company and as well effort about SOEC in that case. First, let me introduce Denso in few words. So Denso is a very automotive company, so one of the largest automotive parts suppliers worldwide. And we can say that it has kind of 6 core businesses: mobility, electronics, thermal products, powertrain system, electrification, advanced device, also other automotive, and non-automotive business. It's only representing roughly 2% of our business. I would like also, by the way, emphasize about a QR code. You know, Denso was the inventor of the QR code. And when I think of it, you know, nowadays we are really using QR code on a regular basis. And for me, it's a typical example how Denso and how Japanese companies can contribute to the society. Now, regarding the revenue, Denso is 45 billion revenue during the last fiscal year. So it's quite significant. And we can say that roughly 50% have been done outside of Japan. When we consider the 164,000 employees of Denso, also there, roughly 50% is outside of Japan. And it means that this collaboration between, you know, like Japan and the rest of the world have been very much present. Now, when you have such an experience about automotive, especially in terms of electrification, ceramics, thermal, and R&D experience to bring products to the market, it's also important to consider as well the decarbonization in terms of manufacturing. And this is also like how a company like Denso can contribute to develop new technology. I think in terms of Denso, one of the central points was the CO2 recirculation demonstration plan. Here it has been implemented in 2020. Here the idea is really to utilize the hydrogen together with the CO2 capture, and thanks to a methanation reactor, create synthetic methane. And this synthetic methane basically can be used in the furnace to create the product, in that case, electrification products. And the CO2 is being captured again and being reused. This is one of the ways of bringing the CO2 recirculation for manufacturing. But in that case, I would like also to emphasize that in Enjo plant in Japan, the idea was also to implement Denso technology. And it has been implemented in 2020. And in 2023, already the technology from Denso, CO2 capture technology, own technology, have been brought as well. Considering as well other technologies that Denso have been developing from the perspective of thermal, SOFC, have been also implemented in this plant. After that, in a Nishio plant, another manufacturing site, here the idea was more to learn a bit more about the factory energy management and also utilizing other technologies such as vehicle-to-grid for automotive. Here have been implemented as well to learn from it until to arrive to a point of developing and integrating SOEC technology. And that's exactly what's become a reality last year in July. Denso have demonstrated SOEC technology in Hirose plant. Let's be clear, it's a kilowatt scale. But what is so good about SOEC? First of all, the electrochemistry is quite clear. It's a very efficient technology. It works at very high temperature. In that case, it has a very high conductivity and a very high kinetics speed. And yeah, that's one of the main advantages of this technology. It's also a very fail-safe structure by itself, so it's very secure to use it. It works very differently to the PEM and to the alkaline. So in few words, it's from electrochemistry, it's very efficient. And it's even more efficient when you use it together with the waste heat, which can be available in some of the on the hard-to-abate sector. Some processes. I'm thinking of the ammonia as an example, Haber-Bosch process. I'm thinking also of e-fuel with Fischer-Tropsch. This is one of the examples of how the SOEC can be used. It can be also used in other areas, such as the nuclear. But anyway, here, Denso adjusts a view. Is in the phase it has demonstrated the technology internally. Now we are more in a phase where we want to demonstrate with customers. So it's mean externally of Denso. It's ongoing. We have already a view of what we want to develop, a 200 kilowatt module. I think it's a rather small system, but very compact. Here we want to leverage, to utilize, to maximize our experience from technology from Denso and also from our automotive experience to commercialize such a SOEC. And we have a certain view regarding the mass production of how we want to do it. It's an intention. We're on an R&D phase at the moment, not yet for a commercialization product, but we have this intention to go for mass production. Again, we can utilize all this experience about ceramics product, electrification, thermal products, and play a key role. We have supplier relationship and things like that. And important to say is we want to utilize our automotive quality to bring cost-competitive products. And in that case, we are, at the moment, very much looking for demonstration, not only in Japan, but as well in Europe. And if you have any interest, we are looking for partners to demonstrate this technology here in Europe. Feel free to reach us at the Japanese pavilion. Feel free to reach me in this booth. Me or my colleagues will be very happy to share that with you. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a good day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Malfoy. I'd like to now give the floor to Mr. Shunsuke Kato from Chiyoda Corporation, who will talk about their LOHC MC. Just a moment, please. Okay, thank you very much. Now I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Shunsuke Kato from Chiyoda Corporation, who will talk about their LOHC MCH technology, and the theme is Proven Solution for Global Hydrogen Supply Chain.
Yeah, hello everyone. First of all, thank Jetro for organizing this great event. I'm Shunsuke Kato from Chiyoda Corporation. Today, I'll be explaining a bit about our proven solutions for hydrogen transport and storage. To give you a clarity of what Chiyoda Corporation is, I'd like to start with a brief introduction of Chiyoda Corporation. So we, Jetro Corporation, is an integrated engineering company headquartered at Yokohama, Japan. Under our corporate philosophy of energy and environment in harmony, we have expanded our business area, starting with refinery, then to environment-friendly plants and energy plants, now to clean industries like batteries and hydrogen. And towards 2030, our corporate aims to increasingly explore business opportunities consisting of low carbon recycling, hydrogen and energy management, and life science, of which my talk today is on hydrogen business, especially with liquid organic hydrogen carrier technologies using methyl-cyclohexane. For the sake of brevity, I would refer these solutions as liquid LOHC MCH. So this is an overview of our solutions. We use toluene as a base hydrogen carrier. So the idea of this solution is to chemically combine hydrogen with toluene for MCH production in an exporting country, and then transport this MCH to an importing country like the Netherlands, and then do the reconversion process, so-called dehydrogenation, to produce back hydrogen gas. The toluene remaining after the dehydration will be shipped back to the supply country to produce again the MCH. This is the mechanism of this solution. So the key advantages of LOHC MCH are, firstly, its ease of handling, because both MCH and toluene can stay in liquid phase under ambient condition, pressure and temperature. And secondly, MCH toluene are very compatible with existing infrastructure, regulations, and codes for petrochemical products. This would potentially benefit for us to utilize for us to reducing investment costs as well as project schedules. Furthermore, MCH and toluene can be adequately safely handled utilizing our practice and know-how that we already have in the existing industry. Almost all components in this supply chain are quite very mature technology, and what is new is actually only dehydrogenation catalyst, and this is exactly what Tsuda invented and can offer to the market. So, Tsuda's LOHC MCH solution is not just a new solution, but which is quite well supported by reliable achievements. At our R&D center, where lots of catalytic and environmental technology have been invented since 1954, the technology development of LOHC MCH began in 2002. After identifying key promising catalyst for dehydration in 2010, and through a pilot scale technical verification step in 2013 and 14, we finally completed our world first hydrogen demonstration project in 2020 and 2022. In both demonstrations, hydrogen was converted to MCH in Brunei Darussalam, then transported by sea over 5,000 kilometers to Japan, and then reconverted to hydrogen gas. This real demonstration project have elevated our technology readiness is currently to 8, so which means that we are quite confident in providing this solution for commercial scale projects. So, in commercial scale global supply chain, you would need to import hydrogen from the abroad and distribute it to the consumers in port regions and or in the hinterland using existing infrastructure. And furthermore, large-scale and long-term energy storage is a critical function for a reliable energy supply chain system. And what great thing about MCH is that its technical maturity and infrastructure compatibility makes it suitable for all these supply chain use cases, and this can bring to the market immediately and seamlessly. This is the key point. So in terms of commercial projects, we are actively developing a supply chain project globally. In the Netherlands, for example, light supply chain project from Scotland to Rotterdam completed feasibility study last year. In Singapore, a supply chain project and in parallel, a demonstration for refueling are underway. Apart from these projects, for both export and import, green and blue, we are fortunately very busy with many business opportunities, and of course, we are fully open to new business opportunities as well. So before closing my presentation, I'd like to quickly touch upon our extended coverage to hydrogen production technologies together with promising partners. We announced a collaboration with Toyota for PEM electrolyzer solutions and a collaboration with Hazer and Tube Electric Power for turquoise hydrogen production facility in Japan. So in both collaborations, Toyota is providing engineering capabilities and project execution skills to respond to expanding hydrogen market. This is my last slide. So as I said, MCH is a superior option in maturity with technical readiness level 8, connectivity, compatibility with existing infrastructure for a seamless link from import to distribution and storage, and adequately safe material, and importantly, this is cost-effective, competitive option. If you have any question, please visit our booth. We have 2 booths, A112 and D24. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kato, and thank you very much for the organizer for our final modification. Now we are getting to the hump. Now I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Yoshinagi Hiki from ENEOS Corporation, who will talk about their initiatives for the realization of hydrogen society.
Thank you very much for everyone. It's a pleasure to have a chance to talk with you about our ENEOS hydrogen business activities. My name is Hiki. I'm in ENEOS Corporation in Tokyo. Let me explain about what the ENEOS Corporation is. ENEOS Group is organized with 6 main business companies. On the left top side, the ENEOS Corporation is one of the main body for this ENEOS Group. Our ENEOS company is doing the oil and gas business, refining, and also petrochemical products and sales. Almost 50% of the share of the petroleum product in Japan. And also hydrogen business department is working under this ENEOS Corporation. ENEOS is trying to achieve the carbon neutrality by 2040. We are considering hydrogen as one of the solutions to achieve this carbon neutral. We are concerned to use this hydrogen not only for our refining business itself, but also to consider to deliver to the other industry areas, and also transportation and some of the household use. To make the hydrogen supply chain, we are working on both supply side and demand side. As for the supply side on the left-hand side, we are developing several projects outside of Japan, Middle East, Southeast Asia, Australia, and also the US. We are now doing the feasibility study and the field study on each of the areas with several partners and explore to deliver this hydrogen into Japan. On the other hand, on the Japan side, we are trying to fully utilize our existing assets like refineries. We have now the 9 refineries in Japan. Each of them we are trying to utilize as a hydrogen hub to deliver this hydrogen into the other industry players like power generation, steel companies, or chemical plants, and so on. As Chiyoda explained already, we are focusing on the LHC MCH as one of the high potential carrier to deliver hydrogen from outside Japan to Japan. The reason why we are focused on the MCH is the behavior of the MCH. MCH and the toluen, we can use the existing business facilities like tanks and jetties and the ships, because toluen and MCH are the liquid at room temperature behave as a typical petrochemical product. And also, as explained, we would like to utilize our refinery asset infrastructure for this hydrogen supply chain. We are trying to use this toluen as a hydrogen carrier and container to deliver hydrogen from the outside of Japan to Japan. And the interesting part of this supply chain is that we can use the toluen as just a carrier, which means that we can reuse this toluen to make MCH outside of Japan, then send back to Japan with the hydrogen, which means MCH. That's the unique part of this LOHC MCH supply chain. To be more competitive, the MCH supply chain, our ENEOS company is developing our own technology, which called the direct MCH. On the bottom side is the conventional MCH supply chain technology, making the hydrogen fast, and store this hydrogen gas and use the MCH reactor to convert from the toluen to the MCH. Then store the MCH and send to the downstream. This direct MCH technology can skip this hydrogen storage and the MCH reactor process, because this direct MCH electrolyzer can directly making the MCH from the water plus electricity. This is a very important part why we are pushing the MCH. This technology helping us to reduce this kind of the tanks and MC reactors, the capex, and also complicated operation to be more easy. And also location constraints can reduce us, so which means that if there's enough renewable energy with terminals, technically we can set MCH supply chain anywhere. Now we are developing this technology. On last year, we just completed the middle-sized demonstration operation. This is based on 150 kilowatt basis. We are now doing the demonstration operation in Australia, Queensland, Brisbane, and then now try to expand this capacity into the megawatt size. We are aiming to start this megawatt size demonstration operation around 2025. And after 2030 afterwards, we are trying to utilize this technology into the commercial phase. We are trying to utilize this hydrogen as a smooth energy transition from the existing gas and oil business to the future clean energy supply chain. Thank you very much for your attention. That's all from the NL.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hiki. I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Yoshimasa Kato from Kawasaki Heavy Industry, who will talk about their solution to achieve carbon neutrality.
First of all, we appreciate Jetro and the ACH organizations. I'm Yoshimasa Kato from Kawasaki Heavy Industries. Today, I would like to introduce our project, especially liquefied hydrogen supply chain project. First of all, let me show you our project introduction movies.
Hydrogen that lights our cities. Streets bustling with hydrogen-powered vehicles. People using electricity and heat produced with hydrogen energy on a daily basis. This is the future we envision. Kawasaki has developed hydrogen-powered gas turbines and mobility that uses hydrogen as fuel. To utilize hydrogen as a next-generation form of energy, technology that enables the efficient, safe transport and storage of massive volumes of hydrogen is essential. The key to this is liquefied hydrogen. Kawasaki possesses technology that liquefies hydrogen by cryogenically cooling it to minus 250 degrees Celsius and reduces its volume by 1/800, allowing for its efficient storage and transport. Equipped with four 40,000 cubic meter tanks, this marine carrier can transport 160,000 cubic meters, a massive volume of liquefied hydrogen at once. Even over scorching seas, our high-performance insulation technology enables maintaining the temperature of each tank at minus 250 degrees Celsius and the transportation of hydrogen in massive volumes from where it is produced to where it is consumed. Utilizing renewable energy or other energy resources, hydrogen can be produced in various regions of the world.
Thank you for watching the liquefied hydrogen transportation. I'd like to talk. So there are three main methods carrying hydrogen. One, the liquefied hydrogen, and ammonia, and MCH, as you mentioned. We chose the liquid hydrogen because very simple process, just cooling down and liquefy them, and no toxicity risk. And just vaporize the liquid hydrogen, the heat, cold heat can be utilized in that process. In 2010, we had already focused on hydrogen as an innovative solution in the energy field. We have been working on building an international supply chain in which hydrogen is produced in large quantities overseas and transported to Japan for domestic use. The idea was to reduce the cost of hydrogen and promote its widespread use through both large-scale supply from overseas and large-scale demand in domestic area. The key here is the hydrogen marine transportation, which was unprecedented in the world. High-performance insulation technology is required to realize the supply chain by building the world's first liquid hydrogen carrier by combining our cryogenic technologies. We have cultivated more than 40 years through our existing LNG carrier technologies and also liquid hydrogen storage tank technology for space programs. About 10 years later, we succeeded the world's first attempts to stably transport the large amount of hydrogen from Australia to Japan. We did it together with many partners. The vessel keeps the temperature minus 253 degrees without additional cooling energy by making full scale of our high-performance vacuum insulation technologies. So these tanks can keep even hot boiled water for 1 month, less than 1 degree. We call that ship is Suiso Frontier. Suiso is the Japanese meaning of hydrogen, as he mentioned before. After completing the pilot project, we are now accelerating our efforts to launch the commercial chain in 2030s with the parallel to make a commercialization demonstration in 2020s. To do that, Kawasaki are now developing the much larger scale liquefied hydrogen carrier. Its capacity with 130 times more than the Suiso Frontier. As you witnessed today, the liquefied hydrogen supply chain production, transportation, storage, and utilization is already beginning to take shape. In 2010, when we first proposed our supply chain concept, many people thought it was just a super dream. However, over the 10 years, we have been working step by step to develop and demonstrate technologies toward a hydrogen society, in which hydrogen is used as a matter of course, like oil and gas, very common today. Lastly, but not least, maybe most important, let's work together to make the liquefied hydrogen supply chain worldwide, like in Rotterdam. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kato. Next presenter is Mr. Futa Ito from Fukui Seisakusho, who will talk about the latest development of safety relief valves for liquid hydrogen carriers.
Okay. So, hello everyone. This is Futa Ito from Fukui Seisakusho, a global marketing group. I'm very honored to be able to speak to you today on this topic, safety valve for the liquid hydrogen carriers. So my presentation has two parts, very simple. The first, company introduction, and the second, a safety valve for the liquid hydrogen carrier. Here I just need to say that our company is the safety valve professionals. So our company is specialized in this product, which is very unique in itself. So I repeat again, we manufacture only a safety valve. And when it comes to the market share, we have very high presence in the liquefied gas carriers, such as LNG and LPG, and also in advanced vessels, such as liquid hydrogen and liquid CO2. So maybe 90% for the LNG carriers and nearly 100% for the LPG carriers. So we are very proud of, and we feel great responsibility for providing the safety and security to the liquefied gas carriers, also to any kind of energy infrastructure as a final safety equipment. This graph shows the range of production, and I repeat, we are safety valve professionals, so we can basically do any range from very cryogenic temperature to the high temperature, and from very low pressure to the very high pressure. So our factory has a wide range of test facility to cover these ranges. From here, I will talk about the safety valve for the liquid hydrogen carriers. As it has been already introduced, there has been a project to produce hydrogen from brown coal and liquefy it and ship it to Japan from Australia. And we provided the safety valve to the exporting and liquefaction terminal in Australia, and also to the Swiss frontier, and also to the importing terminal in Kobe. So we provided safety valve to the Swiss frontier built by the Kawasaki Heavy Industries by being the world's first safety valve manufacturer, which obtained class type approval at minus 253 degrees, and still the only one in the world. So what's next? In order to make hydrogen more accessible, we believe that the scale-up of carrier is essential. There are two news on this slide. The first, we signed MOU with Class NK at the Gastech, Singapore, concerning a joint study on a safety reef valve for a cargo tank of liquefied hydrogen carriers. As a second news, I'm very excited to announce that we successfully completed the performance test at liquid hydrogen temperature witnessed by Class NK with a safety valve much larger than compared to the one delivered to the Swiss frontier. So 14-inch pilot-operated safety valve for the cargo tank, and the 8-inch spring-loaded safety valve for the piping. So prototype test is required for the safety valve for the liquefied gas carriers, which is required by the IGC court. And so we invested much money to have a new test device with which we can test up to 14 inches at liquid hydrogen temperature. And this figure is a part of the result. So 20 times operation, very stable. And after that, there was no leak. So we are doing very well. There have been also the technical challenges for safety valve for the liquid hydrogen carrier. And one is material and one is tightness. So regarding the material, forging was used for the Suiso Frontier safety valve. So forging is very resistant to hydrogen embrittlement and also to the low temperature embrittlement. So we can say that it is most reliable material to the liquid hydrogen. But cost and manufacturing difficulty increase a lot when it comes to the large size, scale up. So that's why we decided to proceed with verification to use A351 CF3M, which is the casting version of the SUS 316L. Next challenge is tightness. So leakage is often a very problem in the valve manufacturing. And hydrogen is a very small molecule and is a dangerous gas with high risk of explosion. So now we are focusing on minor leaks that cannot be detected by soap film method. And that's why we conducted the helium gas fugitive emission test to our safety valve. And with that test, we found a very, very small leak coming from the pilot valve of the safety valve from the bent tube. It's very, very small leak. And after investigation, we found that hydrogen was leaking, permeating through the diaphragm film installed in the pilot. So now we are trying to mitigate this leak by changing the construction or by changing the material so that reliability increase for our safety valve. Okay, I want to repeat again that we are very proud of and we feel very great responsibility providing safety and security to the liquefied gas carriers. And we will continue this work to the future, to any kind of energy, including hydrogen, ammonia, or liquid CO2. So let's work together toward the carbon neutral society. For the safety valve, Fukui is the right company to contact. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ito. Then next presenter is Mr. Graham Peters from Toyota Motor Europe, who will talk about Toyota hydrogen business.
Hi, thank you, Jetro, for the opportunity to speak here in Rotterdam. Thank you for the other presenters for the very useful insights in your company's activities. So I'm Glenn Peters. I'm responsible for the business development and value chain for all activities related to hydrogen of Toyota in Europe. And I'm based actually in Brussels. So, as everyone knows, Belgian people and people from the Netherlands get along quite well as long as we don't have to speak about soccer. So for this topic, I think I should be in a quite safe area. So let me start with explaining Toyota's strategy towards decarbonization. So as Sato-san, our CEO, has clearly explained last year in April, we think that there is a multi-pathway strategy towards decarbonization. Practically, that means that we see clearly several energy carriers which will be used to decarbonize all mobility applications and other industries. And lots of different technologies will be used in order to actually make the right application at the right location. But one thing is very clear, hydrogen will be part of that transition towards full decarbonization. And it is also clear that fuel cell technology already works, because Toyota has more than 3 decades of experience in fuel cell technology and more than 10 years experience in actually bringing a fuel cell product to the market in a mass series. And our hydrogen strategy actually consists out of 3 pillars. One pillar is that we will bring fuel cell products to the market ourselves under the Toyota brand as providing mobility solutions for our customers. Second pillar is actually continuing to invest in making the best possible fuel cell module, which can be integrated in various applications by our partners. And a third pillar of our strategy is actually building eco-clusters together at local scale in order to manage the demand and the supply of hydrogen locally. So related to the first pillar, I think most people know the Mirai fuel cell. It's in the market for about 10 years in the meantime. But recently also a Crown fuel cell was launched in Japan at the end of last year. And actually there is a Hilux fuel cell prototype at our stand at the Jetro at stand D74, which you can actually see. So this is part of our strategy. We will produce vehicles and more fuel cell vehicles will be launched to the market. Second pillar has to do with expanding the fuel cell technology utilization far beyond vehicles or our particular focus part of industry. To do this, we have developed a fuel cell module, which is compact, very reliable, because it is based on the same technology in which we have already a decade-long experience, mass-produced and very easy to integrate. And actually this fuel cell module was already used to integrate in various different industries like buses, marine applications, stationary, trucks, and even train. But this is not all. What we actually see as one of the key bottlenecks at this moment in the industry is actually the chicken or the egg story. Nobody will invest in hydrogen if there is not the application to use the hydrogen, but actually there is also reluctance to invest in the hydrogen production and distribution if actually the hydrogen is actually not guaranteed as an offtake. And we are actually involving ourselves as Toyota in several kind of proof of concepts, ecosystems, or hydrogen valleys, where you see actually 2 proposals on the slide. First is actually a very large fleet of Mirai driving in the streets of Paris, where we are working together with other companies who are producing the hydrogen and making the refueling stations, and also having the taxi licenses used for these vehicles. And at this moment, 1,000 Mirais are driving in Paris with 4 stations distributing the hydrogen. But it's going far beyond this. Actually, we're also wanting to use our own logistic network in Belgium to decarbonize our logistics with a clear target towards 0 CO2 by 2040. And to really be a front runner in that concept, we have built 4 trucks in collaboration with a partner of the Netherlands, actually VDL, which we will use in our own after-sales logistics, starting from our distribution center in Diest, which is close to Brussels, and running into 4 different directions, covering the Netherlands, France, and Germany. And this trial will start very soon in July, and we will build further on that initiative in the future. So that concludes my presentation. We have a full confidence that the hydrogen society will further build. We will bring hydrogen products to the market. We will keep on investing in the technology which can be used in a various set of industries. And after all, we will also communicate with various partners building eco-clusters all across Europe. So don't hesitate to visit us in our stand in D74 if you want to have a small discussion on any of these topics. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peters. Now I'd like to give the floor to the final presenter, Mr. Patrick Kurz from KBC, a Yokogawa company, who will talk about building an integrated and digital future energy system.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I have the last talk of the evening, so it's a big honor to be able to introduce Yokogawa and KBC here today. And thank you for Jetro for organizing this. What we want to talk about is how Yokogawa is looking to contribute to building not just a new energy system, but an integrated and very digital future energy system. And maybe introducing Yokogawa a little bit. Did you actually know that Yokogawa is involved in 5 out of the 7 projects that were awarded an IPCEI subsidy here in the Netherlands already? So we are heavily involved in the key hydrogen projects at the moment. And with that, we are also the main automation partner of the Shell Holland Hydrogen 1 project, which is currently being developed here in Rotterdam, which we're all very proud of. We're also an active member of the ISVT Megawatt Test Center, and we are also involved in key projects worldwide, like, for example, the URI Green Hydrogen Project in Australia. And last but not least, we are also partnering here with Rotterdam in order to create more energy efficiency and flexibility in the Rotterdam Harbour Industrial Complex. And if you are wondering why it is that Yokogawa is involved in all these very interesting projects, I think that has to do with Yokogawa's vision on how the energy system will actually develop, including hydrogen. And the most important vision that Yokogawa has when we look at the development of the energy system is that we are not just changing the energy itself, like with hydrogen, but also we are actually building together a new digital and very integrated energy future. And we see that all the plants and all the producers and consumers of energy are going to be more integrated together, thereby creating a very efficient and sustainable energy system. So Yokogawa's focus lies on integration, and we actually enable different components and different stakeholders to act together. And we do this based on what we call a systems of systems approach. And this we apply at all layers in the energy system, of which I want to show you 2 examples. And we have a suite of technology and capabilities to do this. So the first example I want to talk about is the Shell Holland Hydrogen 1 project. This is a 200 megawatt electrolysis plant that's being built here in Rotterdam at the moment, with a production of 50 to 60 kilotons per year of green hydrogen. And there are many parties involved there, like an EPC, an electrolyzer contractor, and many other package suppliers. And Yokogawa was selected as the main automation contractor, playing the role of what we call the integrator of all. And why is this important? Well, what Yokogawa sees is that if we look at the hydrocarbon plants like a refinery, a large part of our activity was actually process control, and there was some package integration. But with the development of hydrogen plants and ammonia plants, we see a big shift. There is less focus on control. It's still important, and we are good at doing that. But about 70% of the activity now is actually integrating many different packages that are being supplied by many different suppliers. And for the owner-operator, this gives a challenge as to how am I going to operate this plant in a very consistent and efficient way, but also how am I going to replicate this into the future into multiple plants. So Yokogawa acts as an integrator of all, bringing together all the packages and making it very efficient and effective for the owner-operator to operate this plant. And you can see this is just a subset of all the packages in Holland Hydrogen. We use that technology that we call CI server, which is good for horizontal and vertical integration and very expandable. And it allows us to connect many different packages, but also allows us to make the plant talk to its surrounding environment, like the upstream wind farm or the downstream client or the battery storage that we use around the plant. And very importantly, we make sure that our technology is very standards-based, so that it can integrate with other technologies as well. So that's one example of integration. The other example is at a very different level, and we're very proud of this, is currently we are partnering with the Port of Rotterdam, And as you know, Rotterdam, where we are today, is not just a big harbor, but it's also a big industrial area with 120 companies in one cluster. And we recently announced a study that we did as to how can we optimize the energy efficiency in Rotterdam by actually connecting multiple plants together and managing their energy and utilities across multiple plants. And we actually did a few of these studies, one in Japan, but also here in Rotterdam. And we're beginning to show that by connecting multiple plants together and orchestrating the energy use across these multiple plants, we can actually get a big gain in efficiency, a reduction in CO2 emissions, and also create more flexibility and decongestion by working in this way. And however, this requires a new form of collaboration between the different plants. And this is where Yokogawa also integrates parties together. So we're very proud to announce that, and tomorrow there's going to be an official signing of our collaboration here, is that we are going to be starting a project called Starlings here in the Rotterdam Harbor, whereby at scale, we're going to be bringing multiple companies together and orchestrating the energy use across these multiple companies to test if this way we can improve energy efficiency and also reduce CO2 and decongestion. So Yokogawa has a vision on a really very integrated and digital energy future. Not just bringing in hydrogen, not just bringing in ammonia, not just bringing in wind, but integrating this all together into a very efficient digital future energy system. So we would like to invite you to come to our stand. We're very proud to be at the Jetro stand together with our other Japanese colleagues, and to come and have a discussion about how we can develop projects together with you, but also with multiple partners in the value chain. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kurz. Once again, thank you all for your informative presentation. Unfortunately, we are not able to take the time for Q&A session for the moment. However, all the companies who gave the presentation are also in a booth D74, Japan Pavilion. Further information will be given at our booth. See you in D74. Thank you.